What if AI suddenly needed 83% less memory and ran 8 times faster at the same time? Sounds unreal, right? But this just happened, and it might completely change how AI works going forward. Google drops TurboQuant. What's the big deal? So here's the thing. AI is not just about being smart anymore, and that's where most people get it wrong. The real issue behind the scenes is memory usage, which quietly controls performance. Every time something is typed, AI keeps track of the full conversation to maintain context, and that memory keeps growing. Long chats, documents, and prompts all stack up and need space, and that space is expensive. More memory means slower speed and higher costs. Now, TurboQuant comes in with a simple idea: shrink memory without losing performance, and the result is up to 6 times less memory and 8 times faster responses. Most people think AI struggles with intelligence, but the real issue is handling context efficiently. During long conversations, AI stores everything in something called a KV cache, which acts like short-term memory. Now imagine thousands of users doing this at once, and the load becomes massive. Companies spend huge money just to maintain this system, which is why AI can feel slow or expensive. Solving this is like fixing traffic in a crowded city, where less load means smoother flow. That's exactly what TurboQuant is solving. TurboQuant uses something called vector quantization, which simply means compressing large data into smaller pieces without losing important details. It's similar to compressing a video, but still keeping it clear. Most systems need training before compression, which slows things down. But TurboQuant is data oblivious, meaning it works instantly without training. No setup, no delay, just direct performance. This removes a major bottleneck and makes AI systems much more flexible in real time. Google adds a clever step using something called a random rotation, which spreads data evenly across the system. Instead of some parts being overloaded, everything becomes balanced, making compression easier. Then the data is split into smaller chunks and optimized carefully. This ensures each part stays close to the original. The goal is simple: achieve maximum compression while keeping minimum loss, which is exactly what AI systems need to stay accurate. But doesn't compression reduce quality? Normally, compression reduces quality, whether it's images, videos, or audio. So the same concern applies here. But TurboQuant uses a method called QJL transform to keep relationships between data points accurate. AI depends heavily on these relationships to make decisions. If they break, results go wrong. But with this approach, relationships stay intact even after compression. So the AI performs almost the same while using much less memory, which makes this method highly effective. Real tests: does it actually work? This is not just theory because TurboQuant has been tested on real AI models. Even with 4 times compression, performance stayed almost perfect. One test called needle in a haystack checks if AI can find small details inside large data. Despite heavy compression, it passed without issues. This shows that AI can still remember and retrieve important information correctly. That level of accuracy with reduced memory is what makes this breakthrough significant. TurboQuant also improves how AI handles search systems and databases. Normally, indexing data can take seconds or even minutes depending on size. But with this method, it drops to milliseconds, which is almost instant. Faster indexing means quicker search, smoother apps, and better user experience. Nobody likes waiting, and this removes that delay almost completely. So this is not just about memory, it improves overall system speed. This is being called a breakthrough because it improves efficiency, which is one of AI's biggest hidden problems. It's not about making AI smarter, but making it faster and cheaper to run. When efficiency improves, costs drop and performance increases. This allows more developers and companies to build AI tools without huge budgets. It also makes AI more accessible to everyday users. That's why this change has a much bigger impact than it seems. TurboQuant is still in the research stage, so it's not widely used yet. It also improves only inference, which is the usage of AI, not training. Training models still needs heavy computing power and large memory. So this is not a complete solution. However, it removes a major bottleneck in running AI systems efficiently. Even solving one big issue like this can create a huge shift in how AI tools are built and used. While Google is improving efficiency, OpenAI is making a different move by shutting down Sora as a standalone product. This is surprising because it gained attention for realistic AI video generation. The move shows a shift in focus towards something bigger. Instead of pushing video separately, the company is now focusing more on core AI tools that are useful in daily tasks. This signals a major change in direction. Why shut down something so powerful? The main reason comes down to resources and cost. Video generation consumes a lot of computing power, especially GPU usage. That power is limited, so it needs to be used carefully. Instead of spending it on video, OpenAI is redirecting it toward more impactful products. The focus is shifting from entertainment to productivity. This makes more sense in the long run, as practical tools bring more value. A major factor in this shift is the end of a partnership with Disney, which was expected to support AI video development. The plan involved using popular characters in AI-generated content. But with the deal now off, it shows a clear strategy change. When big partnerships fail, it usually means priorities are shifting. This adds to why Sora no longer fits into the bigger picture. OpenAI is not leaving video completely, but changing how it is delivered. Instead of separate tools, the goal is to build a unified ecosystem where everything works together. Chat, coding, browsing, and video could exist in one place. This makes the system more powerful and easier to use. Instead of switching between apps, everything becomes integrated, which is a smarter approach for long-term growth. OpenAI is also working on a new model internally called SPUD, and despite the name sounding simple, expectations are high. The model is already trained and could be released soon. It is expected to improve reasoning and handle complex tasks better. While details are limited, it clearly fits into the company's bigger plan. So while one product shuts down, something more advanced is on the way. Two different strategies are becoming clear in the AI space. Google is focusing on efficiency, making AI faster and cheaper, while OpenAI is focusing on integration, combining tools into one platform. Both approaches are important for the future. AI is not just about intelligence anymore. It's about being fast, accessible, and useful. The balance between performance and usability will shape what comes next. If TurboQuant becomes widely used, AI could become faster, cheaper, and more accessible across devices. It could run better on phones, cost less for developers, and integrate easily into everyday apps. This would allow AI to become part of daily life on a much larger scale. As costs drop, more people can use and build AI tools without barriers. That's when adoption starts increasing rapidly. This moment shows how different companies are solving different problems in AI. One is improving efficiency, while another is focusing on integration. TurboQuant may not look flashy, but it improves how AI works behind the scenes. Sometimes the biggest changes are not visible, but have the strongest impact. As these improvements continue, AI will become more powerful and more common in everyday life. If this was helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.